I was just cruising down Facebook. You know how we do. And there was this lady with an ad. And I know that if you don't do it right away, you lose it and you never see it again. So her name was Sharen, and I called her right away. And my thought was, that I'm really old. And 76, it wasn't so bad when I turned 76. But then I thought, well, that's only 4 years from 80. That sounded really old. So my first question to Sharen was, I really like to do this, but I just don't want to hold anybody back.
When I found out that these aging horsewomen were going to have a boot camp at the ranch, I was both nervous, excited, and just anticipating what it would be like. I work with kids, middle schoolers, high schoolers. You have to hold their hand in a very different way than you would with aging horsewomen. And I feel like I've learned a lot from this group of women. They just bring such experience and such a zest for life, and I feel inspired by them and their desire to kind of do this dream, even at such an elderly age, if I can say that properly. But it's been a true joy just getting to know them. I think it was definitely a different perspective. They already know what they're doing, but how can I come along and assist them in a very different way than I'm used to? I'm the oldest granddaughter. I am 25 years old, and we are here at Fish and Crabs Ranch in beautiful Yampa, Colorado.
We went out cattle chasing one day. What an amazing event. They kind of set us free to run through the field, the meadow, through all the brush, zigzagging back and forth. We were all separated, gonna go wherever you want.
Actually, for the first time in my life, rode through sagebrush. We spread out and covered a huge field. Went back to a creek bottom, found the cattle, got them out.
The cattle were finally discovered down inside the aspen, and they were stopped, developed a plan, and the next thing you know, two people, they split apart. One chased the cows out of the aspen, and the rest of us kind of followed around to drive the cattle. I thought it was going to be around the aspen, but it ended up being straight up the hill.
We had to herd them up the hill through a very narrow gate. It looked narrow anyway from the bottom of that very steep hill. I started my horse up the hill, and Cal just decided, wow, this is what I wanted to do, and he took off like a shot, and it was fantastic. It was great. It's a great horse, and it just was so much fun for me. We don't have those kind of hills in Las Vegas.
And that was just, for lack of a better word, exhilarating. The horses just really dug in and climbed that hill. It was so much fun. It was one of those, do we really want to do it again? But boy, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
We outnumbered them. There were 12 of us riders, and we brought those 6 head in.
And then to I don't want to say chase, but follow the cattle down the road. A couple of outriders to keep them in line, and then join up with another 15 head or so and push them further down into the woods. It was really amazing. Certainly not something I'd ever do at home. It's one single look at a cow with my current horse, and you'd think it was a big grizzly bear. So this was a lot of fun with the horses just doing their job, enjoying what they're doing, and following the cattle. So that was a blast.
Got them out the gate and headed down the road back to their proper pasture. Everybody loved that the best of all of the days we rode, and makes for a great conversation afterwards.
When all of us got together on the porch, the front porch, and sat and talked and laughed and told stories, and these women are from different parts of the United States, but they have traveled to different lands.
Our porch here at the ranch is very healing. There's a lot of conversations and a lot of stories going on. It's a great time.
The best part of the whole trip, I would say, is the front porch. It's so beautiful to sit out and look at the scenery, the grass blowing, it looks like a river, watch the horses, and then talk to everybody. We have had just the best time, I have to say, of everything. It's meeting all these wonderful, inspirational, fantastic women, and I have, I would say sitting on that front porch every night and in the morning, talking and laughing and just watching the beauty around us and the hummingbirds and the aspen tree there, just the sound of it. It's just, I don't know, spectacular. Doesn't get any better than that.
My sister called me and I was in Georgia for Christmas and she told me about Do the Dreams. And it always has been a dream of mine to have a horse adventure. It just seemed like I was destined to do this. My whole family and friends have really encouraged me. Being here has been the realization of a dream.
We got Diane here from Mississippi, and she is riding a horse in Colorado. Just as I have.
Yes, I am.
Her horse took off a little bit. She's got good sticky butt. We're all witnesses. All right, go Diane.
Yeah.
Yes, I came to America the summer of 2009. I came over as a missionary for youth and school ministry, and I was placed in Yampa, Colorado. I fell in love with the valley. Always wanted to come back at some point once I finished my missions here, and that ended up becoming a reality sooner than later. I met my now husband, and here I am. When I found out we were going to be hosting the Do the Dreams event, I was excited, just over the moon excited. This was an idea years in the making, and that it became full circle here, it was just a miracle.
A friend of mine, Sherry Black, called me and asked if I would be a horse wrangler at one of her aging women and do the dreams. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to come out and be able to ride the Rockies with these very interesting and entertaining ladies. This was certainly a unique opportunity for us. We've ridden many miles up and down some of these mountains, great vistas, as anyone that knows anything about the Rockies could know. And we even got to push some cattle around. And as a wrangler for these ladies, every morning I have breakfast, sit across this big table and look out a big bay window. It just makes me think I'm looking at a new picture every day. I got to meet Bill, who runs all the technical equipment, cameras, drones. He can take pictures from anywhere, and just a lot of expertise here.
Well, I think one of the most amazing things being here with both camps is meeting all the different women and how friendly, fun they all are. On our first camp, it was probably 9:30 at night. We were having a dance in the living room. It was so much fun. And we're sitting there at the little, as we called it, the children's table. We're by the door. All of a sudden the door was open, and then this goat just comes waltzing into the house like she was meant to be there. And it was so cute. It startled everybody. Yes, the goat, I feel, came for the party, heard the music, and said, I gotta get into this. So going up, there was these cattle, and this one got separated from the rest. So she went running across, mooing. I don't know if she was calling for her baby or what, but she kept turning back and looking at us. And as she got closer, all the little babies were coming out of the aspen trees up there. And then after we got in front of them, they just all started following us. Like, where are you guys going?
But the vistas here, they're almost free, and that there's very little closeness in it. Even with the aspen trees, the woods are open. You can see clear through the woods without the underbrush. It was just magnificent. My favorite part of riding in the Rockies in 2021 has been a lot of the views. I'm riding the horses, I ride horses, but the views and the camaraderie, a big group of people riding together, I don't do that. For me, where I come from in New Hampshire, my views are fairly claustrophobic. I don't mean that in a bad way, but that our trails are all heavily wooded. I can't look out and see the vistas. And in Colorado, it just goes mountain to mountain, valley to valley, and it's just an amazing view with it just doesn't quit.
I'm glad it is this long because I'm gonna miss it when I leave, and every day's been a new experience, and it took a while for me and my horses to know each other, and it took a while for the other ladies and I to get to know each other.
Elevation climb, and then coming back down the first time was a little bit of a shock because it's so steep. You don't think about it when you're going up.
Took a lot of bravery to come and do this because of the fact that I didn't know anybody here. I'd spoken to Sharen, but I really didn't know anyone. It's been fun, it's been exciting. I've enjoyed meeting all the different ladies that are here. When I think what we've done since I've been here, I think, dang, I really did have to be brave to come here.
So this was a big year for me as I turned 70 in February. And this trip came up as a celebration of another decade.
The age is no reason not to do something like this. It's just they say it's just a number. So
I'm 65 and I don't think I'm old yet. So I don't really know what that is. It's more of a mindset than an age. And it's somebody who's willing to try anything. As long as they're doing that, they're not going to get old. They're just going to keep learning more and more and experiencing more.
If there's other ladies, whether they're young, old, medium, and they want to do something, make it happen. Because if you sit around, it's not going to happen if you don't make it happen. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when the time is so, and I'm pretty happy right now. So I've enjoyed every day, and it's too bad that lots of other people our age can't have the experience, because a lot of times we sit at home and we think, oh, I can't do that, or I don't want, I can't afford it, or whatever. And just be brave enough to say, I want to do it, and I'm worth it, and I'm going to do it. And it's really been wonderful.
Being a horsewoman is something I've been since birth. I took some time off, but I'm back at it full tilt at this point in time, and enjoying every minute on horseback.
Well, I'll be 72 in about a few days, and I feel lucky to be able to do something like this.
I'm 71, and I'm surprised that I can keep up and keep riding as long as we have.
We're here in Colorado in 2021, which will be my 65th birthday coming up.
I decided to do the dreams because, Colorado is beautiful. I wanted to meet some other women that were my age, that were independent and inspiring, and that definitely has happened on the trip. It makes you want to get out and do all the things you want to do, not only horseback riding, but whatever's on your bucket list, get out and live.
Oh, I just went by myself. My mom was really worried about it. And actually my mom said to me, she goes, you know, I wish I had some of your courage. So she kind of wishes she would have done more stuff when she was younger. I think the youngest is 58, and I think the oldest is 79.
I continue finding new adventures as long as I can step up in the saddle.
It has really made me appreciate life and how little time we have on earth. And our horses are our main interest with other women. And I think we all have the same want and need to be together in a group, and we all have a common denominator, which is the horse.
I can't imagine my life without horses.
I've always wanted to have my own horse, and to do the things I'm doing now, it's been very important to me. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just very thankful.
Yeah, it's been very peaceful for my soul. I didn't realize how much I needed it. I don't want to leave. When this is over, I don't want to leave. I'll work for free. It's so fun here. I really had a great time here, and I would do it again if I could. I mean, if Sharen does it again, I'll do it again.
I've never been around horses. I'm just, you know, everyone here is like growing up with them and have their own horses and do all kinds of riding, and me, not so much, no. I'm a nurse practitioner. Prior to this, the closest I got to a horse was, you know, I thought about this, it was a violin bow. Took a few lessons, not as many as I wanted, but it worked out. You know, I kind of feel like I'm doing okay, thanks to a lot of help from everyone here. But I appreciate all the help, and it's been a blast.
My friend said, Lisa, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go ride horses in Colorado. Huh. Well, do you know somebody there? Do you have friends there already? I said, no, I don't know anybody, and I don't think I have any friends yet, but they're all waiting to be friends. And it just happened that way.
Everybody kept asking me, you know, who's going with you? And I said, nobody, I'm going by myself. Are you kidding me?
Last year, I spent a lot of money, and I did a lot of doing horse shows with my granddaughter and myself. And this really outweighed the horse shows this year.
Years ago, I joined the military, and the reason I joined the military was because I wanted to travel. I wanted to go to Europe, and I couldn't figure out any other way to get there, and I went to my Air Force recruiter, and I said, don't want to work in an office. I want to go to Colorado to tech school, because I'd always wanted to go to Colorado, and then I want to be stationed in Germany, and if you can, you know, find me a job that you can, you know, promise all those things, you know, I'll sign up. And sure enough, they said, okay, we'll guarantee you Germany. They said, you're going to be a bomb loader. And so off I was to Germany, which was awesome.
We used to have little plastic horses, and I would trace around them, and I'd draw in the saddle and the reins, and I would put that little paper by my father's bed saying, this is what I want for my birthday.
My dad, we always had horses. He loved horses. He put me on a horse when I was very small, and I heard I fell off, and he wasn't, you know, big deal, get up. He was always so busy farming, but he always made time for the horses if he wanted to ride horses.
Well, I grew up in Montana on big ranches. My father was basically a ranch hand.
My dad trained horses with his father and brought teams. So we had horses from just about like the time I could remember on.
Coming from Germany, where it was basically raised in a city, to here in the middle of nowhere on a ranch was a 180 to who I thought I was and what I thought I wanted out of life. Now I wouldn't trade it for the world, knowing what I know. but I do have to give all the credit to God and my husband for just holding my hand through it all. I only knew how to drive a stick shift, so that was the only quality I had for a country girl. Now I raise chickens, I ride horses, we hunt, we drive snowmobiles, and it's the life I want to live and don't want to miss, and I'm so grateful.
All the people I've met, everybody just wants the same thing. We're more alike than we are ever separate or different.
The favorite part is the riding. You know, I really enjoyed that. But I also like the camaraderie of all the women that are here. Everybody's been great and friendly, and great stories, just a lot of fun, very diverse backgrounds and travel experiences. It's been really interesting.
I'm actually from Norway, but right now I live in Seligman, Arizona. And I don't know how I ended up here, but I think I'm in a barn with horses. And I have my own for 10 days. And I think that's probably the best part of it. Drifter is his name. And I'm a drifter. So it couldn't be better.
I am from Michigan, a small town called Avoca. It's about an hour and a half north of Detroit.
It's fun to meet new people and share their experiences.
When we're eating, everybody's talking about their adventures, where they've been, what they've done. So everybody just talks about their life, and it's very interesting to see what other people have done.
Well, it popped up on my Facebook, and Do the Dreams, and I went to the website. It looked like a lot of fun, and thought, I'm worth it, let's do it.
When I saw on Facebook the Do the Dreams website, I just got up and I was in my office and I went in the living room and I told my husband, I think I'm going to do this. And he looked at it and he said, go for it.
I just looked forward to this from, I think, the first time I saw the ad. So the planning of the year went from horse shows to this. And I'm really delighted that I have done it. It's kind of covered all kinds of different dreams that were going on.
This got started, a girlfriend sent me a Facebook feed that she got, I think, ad for you. And I thought it was, kind of a funny joke. She's like, this is just right up here in Laura's alley. And I almost didn't send it to Laura because it was like, there's no way I'm going to do this. Of course, it's ridiculous. But a couple days later, I did send it to Laura, and she immediately texted me back, this is awesome, let's do it. And I'm like, wait, what? And I had forgotten that she had ridden, in her multiple lives that she's had. And so she was all pumped up about it.
So Mary sent me, I guess she had gotten a flyer from somebody else, and Mary sent it to me in a text message. And I looked at it, and I said, oh God, Mary, let's go do this. And so Mary was like, oh, I just sent it to you as a joke. And I said, well, Mary, it's too late, we're going, So she said, okay.
Highlight of my life. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I got to do it.
My favorite thing of everything is having meals together, sitting at the big table with everybody laughing and talking, and it's like a big happy family, and it's the way families used to be.
It's really been a neat experience. Accommodations are first class. It all looks new and clean, and everybody's got their privacy. Food-wise, I believe I'm going to gain some weight on this trip because I do watch my weight a little bit. But we have 2 cooks here that just cook great. 3 meals a day, and everyone is different, and they are just top-notch.
When we're eating, everybody's talking about their adventures, where they've been, what they've done. So everybody just talks about their life, and it's very interesting to see what other people have done.
Today was one of my best days. one on my iPad, like, how many days have we been here? It's probably, if we've been here 8 days, I've had 8 wonderful days.
High up in the mountains and seeing the wildlife, the beautiful wildflowers. I was surprised they're still blooming so late in the year, so I like to be with nature.
We happened to be coming down off the mountains and it started raining. So we all got dressed in our raincoat. And as the further down we got, about a half mile from our base camp, it started sleeting and then it started hailing. I've never ridden in the rain or anything like that before, but it was an experience.
I think that is something that I'll never forget, that hailstorm, rain, and wind. So we had the opportunity to experience moving cattle around, which is something I've never done.
We did some arena games where we moved some steers back and forth.
And so we started at one end and one person had to go in and get the cattle to come out, stay behind them, while the other person ran up alongside of them so that they wouldn't get separated and that they would stay together. And then we had to do the tricky part, and that was taking 2 out of the herd and moving them back the other way. But it was a lot of fun, great experience.
Yesterday, when I got to do the barrels on trigger, that was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed riding around the barrels even though I wasn't running around the barrels.
I tried the barrel racing. That was pretty funny. We really didn't race, we kind of walked it. If there was going to be a trophy, it would be for being the slowest. I would have won that one. Being in the Colorado Rockies has been absolutely a wonderful experience. With the elevation, just seeing the elk, the mule deer, the quiet, the fresh air, the skies with the stars that you just don't see when you live in a city. Now, usually about halfway up, we would stop, sometimes at a beautiful lake or just at a really nice meadow. And we would all get off our horses and give them a break, and we would sit down and have our lunch and just chit-chat and take pictures of each other, take pictures of the horses. And it was a lot of fun. We would get a nice opportunity to sit down with maybe somebody we haven't had an opportunity to speak with much here at the house, and we would have a little conversation and just relax for about 45 minutes.
This has been fun with the ladies and all their stories.
And just being on horseback is the best way to see the mountains.
I've never seen aspen like that. And when we were on a ride the other day, and everybody was silent, and all you could hear was the wind blowing through those leaves and making the noise. Then we went up a little higher into these pine trees, and that's all you smelled was pine. It was so beautiful.
So pristine. It's kind of like being out here. There's no road, there's no signs, there's no trash. It's just absolutely beautiful. Riding that trail, and I got to do some trotting, which was nice, through the aspen trees and the sound of them and all the wildflowers, and just the company is just wonderful. And we went by the lakes. It was beautiful. The smell of the pine trees. That was my favorite part yesterday. That was a great ride.
We went to the Antlers Bar and had some pictures taken and had a couple drinks and just had a fantastic time.
We went to the Antler and an adorable little bar. I'm not talking just straight taxidermy with the standard critters that you would find, but everything from jackalopes to mule deer to catfish, including the regular elk, etc. Beautiful old-time wooden bar that was just wonderful. And of course, all of us going in at one time dressed to the nines and really playing the part was kind of fun, you know. And so we all held our glass and our cheer, not to mention our Norwegian chant, which many of us forgot the words, but we still had fun doing anyway.
Oh, I had a few drinks in the local bar, I would say. I got a kick out of all the animal statues and everything. It was really nice. I didn't think we were going to stay that long, but it really turned out to be a great time. Again, with all these wonderful women that we just always have something to talk about, it seems like. There's no awkwardness or, backbiting or any of that stuff. We just have a wonderful group. It's just, I'm so pleased.
We went into town all dressed up as cowgirls and we hit the local bar and it's called Antlers. And there are antlers on mules, there are antlers on jackalopes, there are antlers on everything.
Making the change of hosting middle and high schoolers to aging horsewomen is a fun transition. I definitely have learned more in this time than I anticipated, but it's been a great journey.
Was so excited to go on this trip, kind of on my bucket list, but I am having a fabulous time. All the really nice gals, we all get along, which I think is amazing. And I haven't laughed that hard at times for years. So I'm really enjoying myself. And I am so happy I found you guys.
We're all gonna keep in contact with each other, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if some of us take some more trips at the same time together.
The Do the Dreams 2021 has really fulfilled my dream. It's just an experience of a lifetime, really.
It's going to be a real thing to remember, an experience that I'll always remember.
Disconnecting, yes, from electronics, from work, from everything. It's very peaceful. I mean, I've had no problem thinking about work and all those things you think about when you're, not fully engaged in what you're doing. And this has really been fantastic. It's just the scenery and the people. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed all of it. It's wonderful.
I had a horseback ride for maybe 10 days or so on my bucket list. And I'm having a really hard time getting more things on my bucket list now because that's about the only thing I haven't done yet.
I just want to thank you, Sharen, and for doing this. And just let you know, this has been a dream come true for me.
Sherry and I met in 6th grade. We're best buds all through high school. She had horses and my family had horses too. Just through the years we kept in touch. And of the riding I've done, it's been cattle work, polo, jumping horses, a few horse races here and there. So to add this, it is really special.
I just want to say that traveling and meeting new people is one of the biggest blessings you can get out of life. And it really makes you humble when you meet so many fabulous people. And like I said before, just to realize that everybody's more alike than they are different.
My faith is what brought me here. It started with my mom, who was a missionary in Berlin, undercover missions. And when I found out about it at the age of 11, I was just inspired. I loved the risk. I loved the passion that had to drive her to put herself in that danger. These groups of ladies have inspired me. We live by the code of the West and try to do that every day. But these ladies came, and by doing so, by doing the dream, they were a prime example of what we teach to take courage each day. And that will stick with me, and I just love it. And I hope that when I get there, I will be as brave as they are, in their 60s, 70s, going out by themselves, meeting other strangers and doing the dream together.